blessed. I'm doing blessed and highly favored, and definitely hope the same for you. And if this is your first time stopping by my channel, much love to you and welcome. And to my returning subs, my grown, extended, beautiful family, just thank you so much for the love and support. It is truly appreciated. We are going through times right now where we are reflecting on a lot of things that, either we are coming to terms with, we're severing cords, parting ways, appreciating what is taking place so we can make room and do things that is, where it's better suited for us on many levels. So, with that being said, much love to all. Namaste. Love and blessings, love and light, and many blessings are definitely coming your way. And if you have been watching my videos for a while and have not already, please like and subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you know when I'm about to upload my next video. Also, if you're comfortable enough, drop me a line or two. I would love the chance to get to know you as much as you're getting to know me, even if it's about the positive feedback of the content of my video, or you're just up telling me about your empathic gift, how it impacted your life, and heading you towards a positive direction. And if you feel like the videos are informative, give you good vibes, or just good inspiration that you would love to share with a loved one, family, or a friend, or even a fellow empath or going through trying times at the moment, and just needing spiritual guidance or just needing confirmation or validation towards life path or even soul purposes, please go ahead and share them while you're at it. Give you a thumbs up, like, and also share on your social media favorites wherever you see fit. Thank you once again for the love and support. It is so greatly appreciated. And I hope that you're able to resonate with the content of my video. And the music that I'm listening to today, let me turn it up just a little bit. It's called Mindfulness Meditation for Inner Peace, 432 hertz, ancient frequency music, energy healing. And I will post that link in the description box below. And the video I'm doing today is Twin Flame 101. Heyokas, you made a beast of a foundation from the bricks that they tried to break you with. It is so true. You should feel very admired. It's like when you people say they got haters. No, you got fans in straight denial. Because it's just like you can be connected with somebody on these social media sites and you have them looking all sideways at different pictures or different posts, and they wouldn't like a thing. They will always find something that they don't care for. When you make other people, uncomfortable. I've gone through that a lot in life, and it's just like with being us, you don't have to try. You automatically stick out like a sore thumb. It's not like something that you are having to go through great lengths to get it, and attention towards different things. It's just like people float and gravitate towards you anyway, but not it is just like when people envy that of you, they'll try to throw all type of different things at you, when they see your strength, throughout all the things you have gone through, and they wish they could do that with themselves, even though they can. But like I said before, it takes a lot to sit up here and be responsible, for the actions that you have, as well as you afflicted on others. We all have done it one way or another. Either we could have done it, subconsciously or unsubconsciously. You could have said some things that could have really been hurtful towards somebody else, where you just, you were speaking out of emotion and not, it wasn't really from true intent and coming from a good place, or it's just the fact is you speak too much of the truth, and so many people are like chameleons towards whoever they're around. They agree with everything. I'm just not that type of person. I'm not a yes girl. I'm not that one where you're saying something is funny and I laugh even when I don't catch it. I'm just like, can you dumb it down.com for me? Because I'm really trying to find out what y'all laughing at, because it wasn't funny. I'm just like that. But I appreciate all the transformations that has taken place in my life, because I always used to act like, why am I like that? Because I had to be mindful, because sometimes my bluntness and my honestness, really, hit people in a sore spot. And that wasn't what I was doing. But, back in the day when I was in my 20s, I would just hit below the belt, at times. And it's just like, you have to go through experiences like that for you to really see things from all different angles. And a lot of times where everything is going on as you grow up in life, you learn, you're still learning, you know. But it's just like, even when I talk to, my younger viewers, when I go on one with them, at times they feel, like, dang, I'm stupid. I shouldn't have thought about that. I should have known what I was going through. And I always tell people, don't ever think you're stupid. It's just the fact is, these are the lessons that had to take place in your life for you to learn. for you to really learn. How would you know what's right and not what's not wrong? Well, you know which ones is right and what's wrong is wrong. But when you're in confusion with that and you feel like you were justified to do certain things, and it's like, you had a boomerang of backlash when it came back to you. So I always tell people, don't feel stupid for things like that. Even when you have dated somebody and they turn out to be nothing that you thought they were. And a lot of times, I even said, they'd be like, why am I stupid? For some of you're dating this person, they showed all type of, red flags and stuff like that. They could have been a dusty, or, could have been an F boy, F girl, whatever you want to call it, but those are the things you had to go through. Everything that happened in our life is somewhat predestined, and those are the only way you're going to learn. And then it's just like, when you have gone through a lot of things, people envy you for that, because a lot of times when people have endured a lot of things in life, they tend to wear that stuff in their sleeve. I used to work with people, and it was just like, just the looks and energy they gave off. It was like very aggressive, very, uh like very aggressive. And it's just like they held their emotions, like they push that out on people. And it's just like, when matter of fact, I used to work at this mess hall, and they call it the mess hall. It was like when you feed the soldiers. We used to feed like almost close to 2,500 a day. So it would be people that I would meet when I first started there. Oh my God, especially in Georgia. I don't know why it's like that sometimes where I'm here, where if their skin is a lot darker than theirs, they get intimidated by you. I don't understand why it's like that. And I'm not saying that to be funny, because I really don't see color when it goes through all that. My mom's ex-husband was in the military. So I've had a connection with all type of walks of life. So this wasn't new to me. But when I came here, it's just like, it's somewhat of a segregation with black people. And I'm just like, you're not, you don't mix well with the white people, or whatever you call it. And you don't, you make darker, skinned people, you know feel like they're treated different just because the female gene is a little bit stronger, whatever. But even there was this girl I was connected to, and she moved down here, and she's like, Roslynn, if you're a pretty face and you don't talk like them and stuff like that, people come at you crazy. I'm like, really? Because I came down here and I lived here for a while when I went to middle school, but I was a hellraiser. I did a lot of things that, they're like, oh my God, I can't believe you did the things you did. But, it was, I know I was a little fast one back then in the day, and I would be very bold, because we had teachers and stuff that would be quick, want to embarrass you, but then they caught me on the wrong day and I let them have it. And so I was kind of like suspended for a week, but now it's just like, I would never do that. I just don't have time. But all the different things you go through, and it was just like, when me getting to talk to people and getting really know them, because a lot of times we place judgment on somebody before we can really know what is taking place in their life. And this is before I really knew who I was. And they were just like, well, you're a real nice person. I said, yeah, I mean, but y'all are already placing judgment on somebody. You already, when somebody comes new in the building, and y'all all harping on them and giving them a hell, because you're trying to make, I mean, this people got to, they probably got kids to feed and all that stuff, and you making it hard for them. You don't know what kind of walk of life these people are. So don't think, that you're going to be able to do that. And some people don't respond well. I'm one of those one. I say, I'll be a New Jersey headhunter. You keep pissing me off, because I be swinging machetes. I didn't have time for that. I said, way too many. Everything can be an accident. You just a walking compensation right here. Don't make me mad. But when I had it took something for me to have to snap for them to respect me. I said, I'm not that one just because I'm quiet and I really don't mess with nobody. Please don't approach me like that. I'm not that one. Because you come back, you might be want to question, do you still exist or not? I'm that type of one. Don't approach me like that, because everybody, you can't approach everybody like that. But it's like, when I really truly got to know them, they're like, oh, Mckoy, you all right. I said, yeah, sometimes somebody got to make sure they act crazy with you for you to know, don't play with them like that. And don't play with them like that. And it's just, a lot of times it's sad that you have to go through different things like that. But it's just your energy of being who you are. A lot of times you oppose a threat just because of the energy you carry, because they don't feel like, they don't feel like something, this is something very unique. This is very foreign to you. And and I heard one, and it really broke my heart, when I was on one of these platforms, and it said, this person got mad because somebody called them a freak. And I was just like, that's harsh, but it's just like, to me, I think that's a compliment, because you ain't ran up on somebody like that. I'm like, oh, damn, me, thank you. I love that. You can call me a freak all you want to. It's all about what is it going for. Now, if it's in the sheets or something like that, and like, you ain't got to be telling everybody that. But if you talking about one of them ones that you ain't used to dealing with, I really feel that's a compliment. You're a limited edition. When you're freaky into that sense, that is actually more of a compliment, because they ain't ran up on anybody like that. And it's all about, how you see yourself. That's what's important. If somebody else sees you like that, and they're, instead of encouraging you or putting them down, that's more about them and less about you. And a lot of times when you're allowing yourself to stand on your own, allowing yourself to be bold in all your truth, you pushing your own envelopes, you're allowing yourself to part chains with limited challenges, challenging limits, all those things. You become your own challenge. You're supposed to do that. If you're going to be upset about something, and you see what has happened, what has taken place in your life, and you see it's like, okay, you see this thing right here, and they try to mess with you, and you really allowed yourself to fall for what they were doing to you. They enjoyed that. And now they're going to feel like, since they enjoyed that, they're going to keep doing those things. But then when you allow yourself, to really be in your boldness or whatever, and you already see, this is not this is not cute, but if this is what you're going to do, all right. you know People be quick to throw bricks at you, when it's just like, I always seen people that had to go through the extreme to be noticed. I've never been that type of person. I'm just like, shoot, you either gonna like me or you're not gonna like me. But you have to respect what I'm showing you, because it's like, this is me, all of me. I don't have time to be going behind a mask or doing that hee hee ha 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 type thing, faking. I can't even fake a relationship. I can't even fake a hello. Because if I don't like you, I'm like, hey, what up? You acting like you don't like me. I don't like you. I'm not gonna sit up here and say that. I'm not gonna be that type of person. It's like, I really don't care for you. No, I don't. I've always been like that. And it's just like, I'm not going out my way, but I'm not gonna sit up here and sugarcoat anything for you either. You know? But it is just like, you can agree and disagree about a lot of things in life. And it's just like, everything that you have went through had a solid reason behind it. It had a solid purpose behind it. And you're here for you to, it's like, basically, for you to just be crucified in some kind of way. I talked about it in the last video, but you need to go through that. But then you're used as an example, like, even though this harshness is constantly being weighed on you, like baggage, like, it wasn't a good baggage either, but it was heavy baggages, but you allowed yourself to use that as a tool to uplift you. You didn't use that situation to break you. And it's sad, I went through that. When I found out everything I found out, I went into straight victim mode. I'm not even gonna lie, I keep it real with you, because it was just like, I never ever in my life would have felt like people I admired, people I truly trusted with everything in my life, would use my weaknesses against me. When they see me happy, they try to knock me down and upset me. Anytime I would do something that was very productive and it was something to be happy about, they always, low key, like, oh, okay. And it's just like, God, dog, I used to go out my way to try to make my mom's ex-husband happy. And it didn't matter what I did. But then I started noticing that was a pattern with him, because he used to do that with his dad, no matter what it was. And it's just like, when I can see his dad, you can see, even if the horns was like photoshopped, that he wore them horns and he wore them well, because you can see it came back into the world. Um, it was just something that was very, repetitive. And it was just that thing. You were that one that's going to um, carry that torch, to be able to say, just because this stuff didn't start with me, I'm going to be that one to finish it. You know, it's just like that curse of throwing bricks constantly because you are who you are. That has to stop. But then on top of that, using them same bricks to have a steady foundation that is healthy. You're not allowing yourself to, you placing boundaries up. And I call as many enemies to, to catch boundaries. I've seen different situations, even here on this platform. Because I always tell people, it's all about how you choose to say things. It's not like you're going to agree with everything I say, that's fine. I'm not saying, because I don't agree with everything everybody else says. You're entitled to your own opinion. But I always tell people you have to be careful what kind of message you're trying to deliver. Now, if you want to sit up here and be, brutally honest, but be respectable about it, okay, I can respect that. But if you come at me all sideways with that passive aggressive stuff, I'm gonna nip that mess right dead in the bud. Or if you feel like, I'm not answering something that you want to know about me, and I'm just not, I'm like, that's not relevant. If you want to take that to heart, apologies, but that's not what I was trying to give off. But if you found offensive, because I wouldn't, I have boundaries on certain things that I talk about, you know, it's not going to take place there. But, if you got when you got bothered by that, that was more of your issue than it was mine. I always make sure what this is my platform. This is my Fifth Amendment right. I've had people, try to, discredit me in all different ways, trying to, embarrass me, and a lot of times that did hurt. That really did hurt because, people wanted to think I was lying. I'm like, man, been going through this for 4 years now. If this is something I'm trying to gain attention off of, I think I would have lost interest in it a long time ago if that's what I was here for. But that's not even what it is. It's about me telling my experience, the things that I've went through, the gifts that I carry, things that I've contradicted, end up coming up, it end up coming to pass. Those things end up, happening the way it was supposed to happen. And those times it's kind of surprising to me. But this is the burden I had to bear. This is something I was chosen for. I had people that want to question me about me being a Heyoka. Who told you were a Heyoka? Well, if my ancient ones and my, the people that are head, the higher chiefs of command, whatever you want to call it, they weren't too vocal about the things that they do, how they live in their tribe, what they tend to reflect on because they keep to amongst themselves. But whatever is taking place in the world, that where things it changed the whole name, the whole direction of the game is about to be played. Obviously, there was something that had to change about that because they weren't being vocal about the things that they do. Then it the stuff changed. I didn't ask to be, to be one of these because I tell people, at times, if you are raised up like that, sometimes in certain situation, you have to go through a series of events before that takes place to know what you are. But in certain ways, things will take place into your life where you'll see where you're at right now, and then you tend to look back at your life on the different things that has impacted your life in a way that you didn't see that was very important, but it'll take you back to that time. And it's like when I started having dreams about stuff like that, um, one of my ancestors would start telling me things, but it was in a different language. It was the mother language of, Native American. And you talk that mess to me now, I wouldn't understand it. But in my dreams, it was like fluent for me. So it was a lot of different things that had shown up, but then I can also look back on my life and see where certain things were gifted to me. My mom always said there was people that really loved you and they knew there was something special about you and they always gave me gifts. And I was like, Roslynn, there's somebody about to kidnap you. Just like, shoot, we need to make sure that we got to watch you. But it was just anything that I basically endured. It just prepared me for what I'm doing now, procreated in Minnesota, which is like Native American country, like on top of countries. Me being a twin flame with my dad, and then it's twin cities. He was raised up, what was it, an Enda, oh god dog, Enda something, I forgot what it is in Minnesota. I think it's ENDA or something like that. And then I was born in Enid. There's in a place with what is it, Oklahoma, where it was high on Indian reservations and different things like that. Growing up and had different, uh, feathers and crystals and like turquoise jewelry. And they always told me I got to wear these certain things, or they would tell me different things about what they grew up on, what the history is. And I was just the one, I was fascinated about it, especially when we've gone to a couple of my aunts and uncles that were married into the family. I used to always love hearing about the things that has taken place. My mom used to always let me watch little documentaries on different tribes and everything. And I used to always get emotional. And I always say this beautiful how they speak through dances. You know, there are certain things that they would wear to represent things, and it was highly respected. So it just really, when I allow myself to see where I am now, these all these things were preparing me for that, which I'm very honored to do. I mean, it threw me off, but I was very honored for that to happen. And I always say I make sure I maintain up the utmost respect for all that, because I don't disrespect anything like that, and I take very good pride on that, because there's a lot of times where I want to be closed off, but that's not what I signed up for. you know you allow yourself to reflect amongst many, because there's a lot of people that feel like, oh, I can't be a Heyoka because I'm white, or I can't be a Heyoka because of this. I can't be a. If you have been gravitated towards these videos and you start seeing things that give off Native American type doings, there's somewhat in cross the line. Somebody done got, touchy, feely, in some ways where it don't cross, you're a crossbreed in between things. And it's just the way I've seen things. Heyokas is waking up in the world like they're coming out of the dirt. And that means it's just like basically they have gone through a series of events, and then, universe seeing fit when it was time for them to know. And then, I've had visions where I see them coming out of the dirt. I see them with white horses. I see them that have lights on them, even when it comes to autistic children. All of a sudden, they done sit up here and did a whole 360 a few times and are not acting like they used to. I predicted all these different things in life, which I really take pride in that. And I feel like it's a blessing. And a lot of times, it bites me in the ass just because of the things that I know, and people will challenge you on that, because it's just, I've had people tell me, oh, you're black. There's no way you can be that, or you're not Native American. I'm like, nobody is all anything. Because I guarantee you, y'all start doing 23 and me, 24 and me, or he, she, and me, myself, and I, all those things, you're going to find all different things about yourself that you didn't even know. So it's just like you keep going in your truth. Maybe it's going to disturb a lot of people, because maybe they were comfortable living in their life. They know they had to go through extremes just to get attention, when all you had to do was just walk in the room. You're allowing yourself to be bold in everything that is about you. You're doing things in a certain way that brings you joy, because these are the main things that has broke you at the same time, that you never want others to feel that way. And you build a solid foundation that can't bust a grade. And people are going to try to, do everything to make you crumble, because they don't want to see you prosper. They're threatened by the blessings that you carry. You scare people with the blessings you carry. I've had different things where I've told people there was no way of me knowing the things that I know, but I knew. A lot of times that can be like, it's not a bragging thing to me, but I feel like it's awesome sauce to me. I'm like, hey, especially if it's like a one-on-one conversation. And sometimes it's like when I connect with people, I get nothing. I don't know if it's just because that person is not who they say they are, or there is something about themselves, or having identity issues, like they don't see where their self is being placed at. So a lot of times things will be blocked off from me, and I truly don't know. And be the next person, all of a sudden I get a movie reel of things that I shouldn't even know, just because they're through text messages. I've had a lot of people try to understand, like, how does she know what she know, just through text messages. It's not about reading your palms or whatever, but there's a lot of times I'll feel something, I'll see something, and you can basically, you know, um, use that as a confirmation, like, yeah, she's really talking about it, So it's just like a lot of things. Your strength, that's gonna be that's gonna be your power, your strength and your truth. There's a lot of times people are going to try to, distract you from everything possible, but you have to remember what you're here for. And a lot of times things going to get heavy, and we feel like we can't do this, we can't make it. I don't know, I'm being burnt out, I'm tired, I'm spiritually broken, emotionally broken, you know, uh, physically broken. But there are so many times you have to allow yourself to know, if you went through this before, don't think this is your first time around the block. This is the first time around the block on this lifetime, but you have done this many times before. And it was like with the other times, this is a whole new gig, because it was like when we did it, it was like a recycled thing. We knew everything we were doing. Is kind of like, if anybody's from my era, it was like a what was it? Touched by an Angel, with Della Reese in there. I love that woman. God rest her soul. And Highway to Heaven with Michael Landon, and I forgot the other guy's name, but they both played on Little House on the Prairie, and I used to watch those. And they, they got sent down to earth, and they had to do God's work from here for them to go back home, you know. So, all these things is taking place in your life, where it was confirmation, giving you ultimate confirmation of the things that was about to take place in your life. Either it was certain books you've been drawn to, or there's certain things that you have done that a lot of other people didn't do. There are certain things that they try to still be, they're baffled about how you did know, or there are certain things you have done, and it still leaves them trying to understand how did this take place and how are you able to do that. All these things is giving you the power, and it's like you're steady insurance about, you've been through things, you're a warrior. And if you have been through something that was so, dark, something that you don't seek pleasure out of talking about, but basically that's more of a thorn in your side, and you're still here to make it, that's going to be your private weapon, just because the fact is you have endured more than any average person would have been able to survive. And just because you've survived, you are that ultimate blessing that they tried to break. You were doomed from the womb. When you first came out, they were like, oh no, that umbilical cord better snap something, because they ain't know if they come here and they still live, we got to find out all ways to take them out. You have reached death's door. I've reached it. Hell, I've died and came back and did not have any kind of issues, because a long time, as long as I've stayed out, and died, and then my spirit went right back, I should have had some kind of brain damage from the things that I've endured growing up. Didn't. So it's just, you are that mascot of love. You are that ultimate mascot of warrior. You carry pride, and you help people in ways that you find joy out of. When people needed, when people were discouraged, you were there to uplift them. You gave that encouragement to tell them, hey, these things happen, but it won't always be this way. You got what it takes to keep going. you know if there's times where they're sad and they really just need somebody to hear them, or just being understood, you were there. Or somebody just really needed somebody to speak to, and somebody whispered in their head, hey, go talk to them, they're a good Samaritan. And you trying to understand why does people keep coming to you with their problems. I can't solve them, but it's not even all about solving everything. It's just being understood. I always tell people that even though you may not think I can understand or whatever, sometimes you just need somebody to just listen to you. Because a lot of times you're not being heard. So you have to be your own best friend. There's a lot of times you have carried heavy burdens that was hard for you to bear, but you still found a way to keep moving. So it's just like, if they throw bricks at you, build your own fortress, build your own foundation. Because when you're concealing those bricks with that power that comes from within, oh baby, they ain't gonna be able to touch you, because you bad. You're one of them fierce warriors. Like, damn, you got to catch them while they ain't looking. They still can't catch you, but you always be protected. But allow yourself to keep moving. Keep allowing yourself to show love, even when it's probably not, reflected out towards many that has came along your path. You don't allow the world's actions of ugliness turn you into bitter. Don't do that. But I hope you were able to resonate with the content of this video. Like I said, y'all, I missed you yesterday, but I had to go through a rest, because I was cranky. And I was tired, and I needed to get my my reflect on, and get that recharge on too, so I can go ahead and be back to my bubbly self. So I hope you were able to resonate with the content of this video. I'm going to go ahead and do a few more. I would love to give a post notification shout out to James Ishman. Much love to you. Gwen Woomer. And Gavin Collard. I hope I pronounced your last name right. I apologize if I haven't. If you're new to the channel, welcome. It's so good to have you. If you like and subscribe, give me a thumbs up, share, tell somebody about the channel. Make sure you hit the notification bell so you know when I'm about to upload my next video. Drop a line. I would love a chance to give you a post notification shout out, and would love to get a chance to know you, virtually know you. Thank you for the support. Y'all been saying, like I said, the subscribers has just been coming in like crazy. So I truly appreciate that. It's like our family's becoming really big, and that's like a blessing on many levels to me. And know you're truly loved, uh, blessed, and somebody's always praying for your better days. I know I messed that up, but it's gonna be all right. So I hope and pray whatever you're trying to manifest, um, that it comes 100,000 times more than what you asked for or what you even expected, and it comes so much sooner than you expected it as well. And what else? Oh yeah, make sure you give out love, light, positivity, as well as prosperity, words, vibes, and frequencies. You never know, all those things can really help somebody take a long way. And if you want to get in touch with me private, on one-on-one, I always tell people to come look me up on Facebook Messenger. I'm not accepting any friend requests, but I would love to stay connected with you on Messenger, and I'll help you out as best way as I can. If I can't find the answers for you, I'll send you the direction for it. And everything we speak on is confidential, so you don't have to worry about any of those. And I hope y'all have a good day. Stay safe, stay clean, stay home. If you don't have to go out, please don't. And I will see you on my next video. Stay blessed. Peace. Be well.